All right. Okay, so we live. We are. Hi, everybody.
Hey, y'all.
Okay, so since he came to Dallas to spend time with me and to do a class for my godchildren and some of my apprentices, I thought that we would do a video talking about like godparents and all that kind of stuff. And I thought, why not a perfect time to do it with my godfather, Sen Moise? And we haven't did a video together in like a very long time.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not drunk. No, I was playing.
No.
This was your first drink.
So I'm only on my first one.
So, last night, one of the people that was in the class that we were teaching on, thank you, and we were talking about or one of the biggest questions that people have when they come into spirituality and when they come into their own and trying to figure shit out is they're looking for a godparent. Do they need one? Do they need a coven or a voodoo house or to be initiated or whatever the case may be? Oh, they say they love your dimples.
Oh, well, thank you.
So I just thought that I would do a video and kind of discuss all that and kind of break some of it down. Where you have a better understanding, because not saying that what we think is the end all to be all. I'm not saying that. However, I always like to talk about stuff that nobody's really talking about per se. And then I always like to educate and I always like to teach and stuff like that. For the people that want to send a video to join my group, you only do the video after you are accepted. I have about 400 people that are waiting, that are pending. And for those who are not active, I do delete. So people quick to say that I kick them out. I don't. I just have rules. And if you have rules in your life, you expect people to follow them as well. So you don't follow the rules, you don't get kicked out. You are just deleted out. But it's only because you're either not active or whatever the case may be. So, you can make your own group, make your own rules, but these are mine. You are there to learn. You are there to be active, not just to sit and lurk and stuff like that. I want you to be proactive in your process. But anyway, we ain't here to talk about that, but I thought that I would explain it. So, what is a godparent? Does it differ from being a mentor? Is it different from being a teacher?
A godparent basically is someone who wears all those hats. A godparent is a mentor. A godparent is a teacher. A godparent is a mother and or a father. A godparent is someone who they're put in your life to guide you, to help you grow, and to, open pathways for you. One of the things when it comes to a godparent is we all have the same, idea or the same intention, in that one of our goals is that we want to make you better than us. Because when we're not here anymore,
right,
and we have become ancestors, we want you to carry on the work that we've spent our entire lives doing. So when you get right down to it, sometimes, sometimes it's our job to show you things that you may have done right, things that you may have done wrong, to point those out, because guess what? Growth is both joyful and it is painful. And so, sometimes people are like, oh, they tell me that I'm mean and stuff. Well, I can be, absolutely. But the intention is not to be malicious. The intention is to see that you are growing and doing what you're supposed to do and walking in the potential that you have. And if you can do that, then that means that we've done the job that we need to do. But don't get it twisted. It is not our job to chase you down.
That's it.
We will never do that. When it comes to spiritual work and it comes to these things, one of the things is that You have got sacrifices that you have to make. There are things that you have to do. An elder / godparent will never chase you down to teach you nothing. It's your job to come to us to learn, you see. And so there's initiatives that you must take in that. And one of the things that has kind of come up recently a lot is that, folks, they don't know how to find a godparent, or they say, oh, well, it's too hard, and the only thing that they do is turn to books. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with books. But understand this, that in these spiritual traditions, the majority of them are oral traditions.
Thank you, Deanna Sparrow. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Many blessings to you.
Oh. The majority of them are oral traditions, and those oral traditions are passed down. They're oral, so mouth to mouth. And the experience that we have with them is not something that you're going to necessarily find in a book. And it's definitely not something that you're going to understand in the same way that you would if a practical application, is done and shown to you how to, because I can write something all day long,
right? But
I can show you better than a book can tell you. You see,
because if you look up godparent, and like if you look it up or Google it, because some of y'all love Google. If you look it up, it literally says it ensures the child's religious education to be carried out. That was not my intention. So when people was making comments, oh, I want people to call me mama, and all that, no, the fuck I didn't. I didn't want y'all to call me mama. I'm like, I don't know all these grown motherfuckers like that ain't.
Ain't that a damn truth.
And so that was never my intention. And then even like for a coven that I had years ago, it was just so chaotic. And for me, I'm a Taurus, and I'm also like an introvert. So me sharing a bunch of space and with a whole bunch of people, because a lot of times people come to you broken. Mm-hmm. They come to you very broken. You meet them in a reading or something like that, and they come to you broken. And so the human side of you says, I want to help fix them. I want to help them get their life together. But a lot of people, they're not looking for help. They're looking for attention. Mm-hmm. And so you're attracting these people that are looking for attention, not necessarily healing. So they're looking for a replacement. So sometimes they're looking for you to replace their friendship. They're looking for you to replace their mama, to replace being a daddy, to replace all of this stuff, but they don't, or they're not ready to really do the work to reciprocate that time and energy. So it becomes, they just pulling and you just constantly giving, and they don't want to do the work because they want you to just fix it. Like, like they think it's like that. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Kurt. Tarian. Thank you. So it's two people connecting. This how I look at it. For 7 years, I sought out looking for a godparent because I had tried to be in other people's voodoo houses, and they wanted me to be somebody's wife, mm-hmm. the spiritual wife. God told him, the spiritual wife, God told him. And I'd be like, no, I just want to come here to learn. And so I got tired of it. I actually beat up one of them hoes. I actually beat up one technically two of them. That was trying, they were mad at me because of how they men feel about me. Well, bitch, I just want him to be my papa. I'm just looking for spiritual. I'm not looking to connect and be nobody's nothing. And so I just decided I don't want to be a part. I don't want to be a part of that shit because it's too chaotic. I didn't grow up seeing shit like this, and I did not want to do that. Thank you so much, Kirk. I appreciate that, like the love for real. So I just did not want that. And so when I started, because I tell everybody, when you coming into this, you know, you can try it on your own. There's nothing wrong with it. But if you're the type of person that's wanting to connect and have a spiritual godparent or godparents, then really make sure that they fit who you are and who you want to be, even if you're really not sure. And I knew that I wanted one that was not going to be trying to get in my drawers. I knew that. So I knew specifically what to ask for. I was like, I want him to kind of like the same thing I like. Can I say that?
Well, I guess so. Yeah.
I just said, I'm so sorry.
Why? Don't be sorry. It's the truth. It ain't nothing. Look here. Tell the truth and shame the devil.
I was just like, what's my baby? He was going to work. Oh, this is my son. Yeah, he's taking. So I see you later, baby. So for me, it was like I had to find somebody who liked the same thing I like. So I wasn't worried about him trying to like get in my drawers because he like penis. I like penis. So you know, so we wasn't gonna have to worry about that. You know what I'm talking about? So that's how I kind of that was something specific that I needed. So you got to be specific in what you ask for. And so that's what I wanted, somebody like that. And then I wanted someone that saw my heart, not so much as my money and not so much as just wanting to take. Because a lot of people don't get that when you have a spiritual godparent, you are financially responsible for them as well. And that's the part that, you know, don't nobody want to talk about that, but that's the part that you're supposed to be, you got to give. And you got to take care of them like they're your own. And I don't just say that and I don't do that. I say that because it's true. Whatever Papa's problem is, that's my problem too. Financially, otherwise, because we a house. I'm supposed to love him. I'm supposed to, I adore him in every sense of the word because he's so knowledgeable and his heart is so big. And you can't do nothing but honor people like this. Some of them don't. But I'm not one of them. And so I look at what I'm being taught. I look at what he gives me. It makes me a better godparent because he's a great godparent to me. He definitely didn't have to come to Dallas, but he did because he wanted to see me. And so I'm going to do the same thing. I love this man with everything that's in me. I do.
And I love you too, yeah.
I do. So I have to give him that, but a lot of people, they just want to be accepted so much that they'll take anything, and because they really don't know that it's a fucking difference. You know what I'm saying? So I wrote a couple of things down, like to ask him, like, what do you think that people should be looking for when they are looking for a godparent?
Well, first of all, one of the things that, you know, people have to really understand is that everyone is not for you and you are not for everyone. Okay. You know, there needs to be some sort of a connection that's there. Otherwise, basically, you're going to continue, fighting an uphill battle, so to speak.
Right.
That was just a chord.
Okay.
So, you know, like there needs to be a connection, there needs to be a desire, and there's also an understanding, you know, that when we come into this, you know, again, what we're coming in this to do is we're coming in this to, you know, to show you how to do this, and this, whatever that tradition may be, you know, whether it's, you know, voodoo, palo,
thank you, Jen.
Lukumi, you know, whatever. I mean, so that's the first thing. The second thing is before, like me personally, before I will take anyone on as a godchild, what I do two things. Number one is I have a very lengthy conversation because not everybody thinks that my personality is, you know, all cute and sweet. Because again, I can be, and when it comes to doing things, I am what you make me. That's right. And if you want me, and if you want to make me the devil, I can walk in those shoes better than Lucifer himself. But the thing is that I also do a reading on it. to see if there is potential. Now, I can tell you this, I turn people away all the damn time because I know that it's not going to be something that's going to work out. But what I'll do is if it's somebody that I turn away, I will say, hey, maybe you should go talk to, such and such, or maybe you should go talk to such and such, because they may fit what you're looking for better. They may fit what you're needing better.
Oh, thank you, darling. Thank you, Diva Bond Music. Okay.
All right. So, and also you got to, don't, look for somebody, who's going to, try and, how you say, get in your pants and all that other shit. Because damn. First of all,
why? If you don't get your guy.
First of all, in these traditions, that is a taboo thing. Okay, that's something that is very, very, very much frowned upon. Because you have to think of it like this, a godparent and a godchild, that's like a mother and or father and, daughter and or son. So what's going to happen if you laying up in the bed because, the spirits told you, that y'all needed to, take it to the next level. What you're doing basically is you're committing incest.
Kirk, I'll tell all of it at the end of the live. It's just like Pose. Y'all watch Pose, right? And Pose is about the early 90s drag queens and the houses. And you have the mother of the house, and then you have her children. And it's just like that. And y'all remember that scene where what's his name? Goddamn, what's his name? The little loud one, the MC. Shit, I can't think of it. Well, anyway, he the MC, and he sleeps with Pray Tell. Yeah, Pray Tell. Pray Tell sleeps with one of the kids. And so that's a big deal because you don't do that. You do not do that. You don't mix. Because what did I say earlier? Most times you come to your spiritual God, you're broken and you are going through things and you're trying to, because you don't come into a house all put together. You don't come into a coven all put together.
And you're going to get broken again and put back together. And
so what happens is, as a leader or as a godparent, what our job essentially is to burn you down to ash. It's, breaking everything down. Because then you need to be vulnerable, because that's the way you be seen. That's why you get your help. And from being broken down, we are to help build you up. Now, the breaking down process, that's the tough part, because most of y'all have been hurt. You come from church, spiritual hurt, all of this stuff. And so you cannot be sexually involved with a godparent or even talking about anything like that, because you're the most vulnerable. We know everything. Like, my godfather knows everything about me, everything from the top of my head to the bottom of my feet and all the experiences in between. So that makes me very vulnerable because he knows my secrets. You know what I'm saying? And so that part of that can open up a door for a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it comes to men and women. So for me, that's why I didn't necessarily want to be a part of a house and he was a heterosexual male, only because my experience. I'm just talking about mine. I'm not talking about everybody else. I'm not talking about nobody specific, but that shit happens all the time. It's like a free pussy for all when they come into these houses. No, for real, it's like a free for all. Nigga gonna fuck everybody in that bitch. Everybody in that bitch that had him. And that shit is cool, and it's not. No. Because you got that person when they were broken and they looking for something substantial to hold on to. And now you've given them this false sense of security, and it's not fair. So everything is based off of that. So if you stop the sexual part of it, right? You stop the sexual part, then the spiritual is gone, because now you just like everybody else that had hurt that person. And that's the part that I don't necessarily agree with. It happens all the time, though. It happens all the time, but it shouldn't. There are a ton of spiritualists I'm not even, I would just name his name, that a lot of people follow, and he's known for doing this thing. And he has other godchildren that are connected to him, that they have houses and they all on YouTube and stuff too, and they do the same shit. And that shit is just not cool. It's just not cool. And it just gives the spiritual game, the spiritual community, if you can say the spiritual community, it just gives it something else to be fucked up. And it gives it something else for people not to trust.
Right.
And it plants this horrible seed. So for me, if you're looking for a spiritual godparent, a mother or a father or whatever the case may be, think about this. How do you want them to be for you? You know, and then think too that they're still human too. They still go through human shit too. They not floating around this bitch like on a magic carpet. They ain't got no motherfucking little old flute where they can blow it and some shit. It's not like that. It's our real life. And I also put, are you willing to be a student? A lot of y'all done read 7.8 million goddamn spiritual books from all of these different people, and you already have a sense that you magical and can't nobody tell you nothing because you done looked up and did a couple of things that worked. But you don't have really any substantial training. You don't have any substantial, you don't have anybody that you can go to really teach you about the contracts, about the commitments, about all of it. And then not only that, let's be clear, are you mentally stable? Are you? Because some of y'all don't need magic. Some of y'all need meds.
Well, ain't that a damn truth?
I'm just saying, y'all looking for all kind of help, but the help you need to be sitting under somebody's desk, sitting under somebody's desk in a chair, and then writing out you a prescription for some type of mood stabilizer, something for the schizophrenia that you are suffering with. Like, some of y'all don't need y'all, and I'm just saying, some of y'all need meds. You don't need magic because you got to be stable. You got to be stable because one time he say something to you, ready to go out. I don't want him talking to me like that. Girl, if you don't get your mind together. And then another thing is they think that the fucking your godparents are supposed to kiss your ass and shit. And where you been? And come on now, don't act like that. And I want you to do better. Come on, it is not like that. Just like I dig off into my apprentices' asses and I get on my coven girls' asses, if I do something, he gonna say some shit to me too. And I'm not gonna be like, you can't talk to me like that. I say, okay. Yesterday, he taught a Haitian voodoo class to me. I was in pain. I was in fucking pain. Because I just had oral surgery. I'm trying to get some veneers, but they're gonna fix my mouth first. And so I was in pain, and he was like, "You gonna stay? You gonna be up here with me?" And I was like, "No, I'm not. I'm in pain." And he was like, "Okay, let me go on and sit my ass down and be up here." So it's just, and then being the student being willing to be a student, would be willing to be a student. You can't be a teacher all the goddamn time. Somebody got to teach you something. No matter how much I know, no matter how much, whatever the case may be, I know that I submit myself under his teachings.
But that's the thing is that, you know, no matter how long that we've been doing any of this, no matter how long, how much we know, whatever it is, all of us, even godparents and elders, we are all always perpetual students all the time. You know, we will never know everything.
No.
But we will spend our lives learning, you see. And so what's important with that is that, you know, understanding that being the student opens up doors for you. It opens up knowledge for you. And it also opens up the spirit for you. But sometimes some lessons are not the easiest to learn. Sometimes lessons are hard. It's not just, you know, all about, you know, shooting glitter out your ass and then, you know, calling it magic. You know, it ain't nothing about none of that.
Make glitter rice.
That's right. Glitter rice.
Glitter.
That's
purple
right.
glitter hoodoo rice.
That's
I ain't never
right.
known no shit like that in my life.
No. It ain't all about none of that. You know, sometimes those lessons that we learn require sacrifice.
Absolutely.
In that. So sometimes there's things that we don't want to do, but we're going to do them anyway, because what happens is that when you come through the other side of that lesson, not only do you have that knowledge that you were looking for, but now you have become stronger, and that foundation has become stronger. And that is the point, because one of the things about a godparent is, and whether y'all understand this or not, I don't know, but I'm about to tell you anyway, is that, see, y'all got to worry about you. We have to worry about everybody. And so we have to see things, you know, not just from the viewpoint of what is directly in front of our face, but we're always having to look at the bigger picture, you see. And, you know, that is something that, you know, does become a burden. And so to carry that burden, we have to be strong. And so if we got to be strong, guess what? We're going to make your ass strong too. That's just the way that it is. Because again, when we're not around no more, guess who's going to carry it out? You. You're the one that's going to continue with, you know, with what's needing to be done. Continue with the tradition. Continue with, you know, that the practice, the path, the magic. You're the one that's going to do all that. And so our job is to prepare you to do that.
It's just like I tell my girls in my coven. Now, my apprenticeship, my coven. So for me, I judge how successful I am by how successful they are. And so when we started, I was pretty much the only one that had a business. So for me, I wanted my children, my godchildren, I wanted them economically sound. So the first thing that I pushed on them was, what are you good at? And what is your gift, so that your gift will sustain you? So not only am I a coven mother and I have an apprenticeship, even my apprenticeship, what are you guys good at? I need everybody with businesses. So I'm going to teach at a level, as far as money, magic, and everything else. That's the first thing I want to teach them: financial stability. I want you getting your credit together. You know, I don't want you on anybody. I don't want you having debt. So let's work on that stuff too, so I can teach you how to be financially sound like I am. Because to me, I do not merit my success by me. I merit my success by people that are around me. And I don't want to be around people who have a poverty mindset, because that creates a weak link. And I don't need that in my chain. I want everybody to be strong. And so for me, it's literally, let me sit down. Let's find out what your gifts are and let's develop them. And a lot of times they don't even know, because like I said, they come to you and they're broken. And your job is to help fix them, where you make them so financially strong, mentally, magically, and spiritually, and physically, and everything else, that they're able to hold their own. So they're not in the coven. They're not your godchildren because they need you. They're in it because now their need has leveled up, so to speak. And that just makes the coven stronger. It makes the apprenticeship stronger. It makes your godchildren stronger. And it makes you a force to be reckoned with. And that's the whole point of this, is a group, a house, a group. It's not a social club. It is a spiritual family that you actually create. It's one band, one sound. That's what I say. One band, one sound. Nobody's greater than the other. We are all together, because actually there is greater. You are. You need to be greater than me. I need to put you in a position where you're better than me. There have been people that talk shit about me that make money now because I was the motherfucker that gave them the key. Fact. It's a lot of them running around right now having businesses and spirituality and everything else based off of me and things that I taught them. Hell, it was two of them that became millionaires before I did. And I was like, well, goddamn, but ain't that a bitch? But at the end of the day, like real talk, that's what the fuck I want. They might not be tied to me no more. They might have left for whatever reason, because that happens. But this motherfucker, she's this person, or they're that person, because I know what I planted in them. They might not give a fuck now, because that's where jealousy and all this other shit come in, which is stupid. But they get it to the point where now they're able to build something off of it. And as a godparent, that's what I'm supposed to give you. Because if you win, I'm winning. And there's no such thing as small. I'm going to tell you how much I love him. He introduced me to a lady that had a talk show. It has a radio show. And I don't know nothing about this lady. I don't know nothing about her. And I've been on her show twice. Mm-hmm. He introduced me to her. So the first time that I was even talking about doing the show, I was like, I don't know if I want to do that. Did I not say that? I was like, I don't know. I was like, that's your thing, Sen Moise. I love it. I love you. But because one thing about him is that he pushes me to get out of my comfort zone. I don't like nobody. I don't know if it's because I'm a tyrant. I don't know, but I don't like nobody. But Sen Moise will push me even before him. That's love. His name has been in the big signs. You know what I'm saying? He's a published author, known everywhere. And the first thing that he'll do is, if I'm with him and and I'll be like, no, I'm good. He'll be like, come on. So back to this story. So I talked to the lady on the phone. I talked to Heather on the phone, and we talked for a few minutes. It wasn't a long time. And then I listened to him on her show. Well, her mentor that has now transitioned came through me. Woke me up out of my sleep. And so I'm texting her. It's 4 o'clock in the morning, my time. I'm texting her everything that he's saying to me. And I didn't even know that she was so emotional behind this, that I had read, and she needed that, right? Until he called me and he was like, I'm so proud of you. And I was like, what you talking about? And he was like, I talked to Heather. And I was like, oh, yeah. And he said, she told me what you said. And I was like, oh, okay. And he was like, I'm so impressed. I'm so proud. I'm so glad you're one of my godchildren. Not, why you didn't tell me? Why you didn't make me a part of it? He was not like that. And then he pushed me even more in the forefront with her to do my own show, my own little episode, or whatever you want to call it, with her. And then not only did he listen, he was coaching me the whole, like texting me. He was like, good, this is good. Now say this. Now this is good. Now add that to it. Like, that's what a godparent really do. They push you to your greatness. And even though I think to myself, well, I'm doing good. I'm all right. He's always like, no, you can do better. Well, no, I'm good. I don't want to talk in front of nobody. I don't want to do that. No, you're going to do it, and you're going to do better. So that's the part where people don't get, because we always say, who heals the healer? That's why godparents need it. I have one. So when I'm going through my human moments and my human experiences, and I can't turn to anybody, I'm supposed to be able to turn to him. And if he's busy, he'll literally say, give me a minute. I'm going to get back with you. And when he do, I'm like, and he don't go, that's stupid. Or no, he goes, okay, so let's put this in perspective. And sometimes that's all we need. And to me, that's why I love him so much. I love him. Oh, because that's what he gives me. That even though I think I be knowing all the shit, I still have somebody that support. And in turn, it makes me a better godparent. And I'm able to plant the same kind of seeds that he planted in me. I'm able to plant them into my children. And for whoever who don't have that and you've been burned, take your time. This is a lifetime that we live in. It's a lifetime where we live in.
Oh, absolutely.
So, and just heal, man. Because if you have issues with your mom and dad, you're going to have issues with your godparents too. Because they represent that. You know, because some of us, we done got so big, can't nobody tell us shit. Whether it's constructive or not. And let me be very clear. Godparents don't come to you out. Okay, let me tell you something real quick. Sometimes they be like, hey, come here. Why the fuck is you in? why the fuck are you doing this? And why the fuck? And I seen this and I didn't like that shit. And you were like, damn, I just said hello. You done went in. Sometimes that's just what it is, and you got to be open to it because of him. Now I actually talk in public.
Mm-hmm.
Because before I would not.
Nope, I remember that.
I turned down money. I turned down classes. I was like, I'm not doing it. I could do it over this, but in person, I would not do it. Mm-hmm. I just wasn't for that. Speaking to my yes, you do. Don't do that. Don't be on here cutting up. don't you embarrass me. So I wanted to do this video because I think that it's so essential that you guys understand what it really means. If somebody do something to him, they have just done something to everybody in the whole fucking house. If somebody do something to me, the first thing my godfather's gonna do is he's gonna step in.
Who gotta die?
Mm-hmm. That's how this is supposed to work. But people are not loyal to anything. They're not loyal to nobody. They not. They so selfish and they so for themselves.
That right there is the thing. Loyalty.
Yeah.
People think that, if they start feeling some type of, well, I'm just gonna get up on out of here and I got to go and I'm gonna do that because you don't piss me off. And be pissed off. Be pissed off. But then you're missing the bigger picture. And it's like I was saying before. So many times, so many folks, the only thing that they see is what's directly in front of them and they never see the bigger picture. It's our job to see the bigger picture. That's what we have to do. We don't have a choice in the matter. And so when it comes right down to it, loyalty is worth its weight in gold.
Yeah, it is.
Because you got all these some bitches running around here and they go from this one to this one to this one to this one to this
Spiritual
one to this
junkies.
One. Exactly. They're junkies. Because what they want is they want somebody to always just tell them something to make them feel good. And you know what? There's times for that. There are seasons for that. But you know what else? There's also seasons to where sometimes you got to get your foot and dig it in their ass.
Yeah.
If they're not going to do what they need to do, then guess what? We have to do that because remember, if you don't remember anything else about this, remember this: the job of the godparent and our goal is to make you better than us. But we're not going to chase you down to teach you. We're not going to chase you down to be like, could do you want to come over here and you want to be I got time for that shit. And so
because you'll make time for what you want to make time for.
Absolutely, you will.
And no matter how busy I am, I'm making my business to go to New Orleans. Because sometimes you got to go get it. You got to go get your education. You got to go. Sometimes I need to be in the presence of something or someone that is greater energy-wise or divine-wise than me. I need that. Sometimes I don't even need to be nothing but just be in his presence. Because I need that. I need to feed from the source. A lot of you guys, it's just y'all went to church for 27 years and y'all have tithed enough to build 30 churches and 30 homes. And you don't receive anything out of it because you're giving your money to a ground that's not fertile. That ground is not fertile. But when I gift and I give to my godfather, I know I can give him money right now, and by the end of the day, I'd have made 3 times that amount. Facts. And that shit has happened a lot. So sometimes I'll send him money just because I need a breakthrough in something. And I know by doing that, something's gonna move because I know. See, godparents, what they don't know, which I don't know, is godparents do work for us, like do work for you all the time.
Mm-hmm. And you don't even know about it.
And it's not for us to be like, well, did you do some work on me? But you can feel it. Because it might have been something you was working on, and you might have had a conversation with your godparent. You don't even know when they got off the phone, they done got up and went to their altar for you. And then all of a sudden, you like, damn, calling back, Sen Moise, I was looking for this, and I was looking for that, and I've been waiting on this, and then all of a sudden it happened. Because he was doing some work. He literally, when I was complaining about, I needed a bigger space, what I text you, and I was like, I am upset because I can't find anything that I like. I called him back a couple of days later, and I was like, I found the place. I got the place, and I texted him. He was like, oh, good. And I could tell by that, oh, good, there's something else that came behind it. So you want power like that. You want power behind you like that. But a lot of people don't want to do the work. They think they know everything. They think they're the strong. I don't know everything. I'm not the strongest. I'm not none of that. But what I am is I'm open to receive what's for me. To me, being up under him, that's my guided excellence. To me. Whoever, when they come up under me, that's their guided excellence. And that's my job to get them there. And I'm only going to give them what I got. And I'm gonna give them what I got, and that's everything. Now, how did I know? Because one of the questions was, how did I know that he was the one? I tell him this all the time, and I'm not gonna get emotional because talking about him and my husband makes me emotional because I love him like that. How I knew that he was the one, because I saw him in the darkness. I saw him in the darkness. And I knew when I saw him that he was it. I felt it. I met him in the darkness. I didn't meet him in the light. And then when we connected, he was like, oh, I've been watching you too. And I was like, shut up. I was like, shut up. And so it just, that's how you know. And I trusted the process. Well, hello from Trinidad. So that's how I want you guys to feel like that. It's a good feeling. It's a completeness. Like, that's how I feel. Just like I know that my husband is my twin flame or whatever you want to call it. I know that Sen Moise is for me. I have no doubt. And you have people that will come and they see you do a video or they see y'all talking and you see them, they'll come and hear, did you know that he? Did you know that they? Did you know I heard? And I don't entertain shit like that. And I'm quick to say, I don't want to hear that shit because I don't give a fuck. I know him for me. So whatever your experience is with him, you probably deserve whatever the fuck he did to you and it didn't work out. Because what you do. See, people are so receptive to the negative shit. I don't like getting into that because it probably happened 2 or 3 years ago. It's a whole bunch of shit you leaving out and you don't want to see this person be healthy. There was a young lady that emailed me a few weeks ago, or was it in my inbox? I don't know, because I can't be keeping up with all that shit. I can't. And the first thing she said was, I saw this video of this girl talking about you, and I ain't gonna lie, I believed it. But now I see all these reviews, and I see how you just constantly growing, and I fucked up. And I want to be a part of your group. I should not even believe that shit. Nah, sweetie, I appreciate your apology. But you go ahead. I don't want no parts to that. Because if you do it off of that, you do it again. And loyalty to me means everything. And I don't give second chances. I forgive you. I appreciate you coming to me, being woman enough to say whatever the case may be. I know you anyway, so it really didn't matter. But my point is, I don't give second chances like that. Because you had the opportunity to get to know me for yourself. If you think I'm a fake, that's a description that you earn because you got to know me for yourself. But listening to somebody else about me, because every call is different, every reading is different. You are different, however that person on the other line is. Some people, you just connect like that, and some people you don't. I'm not for everybody. Exactly. I know everybody ain't gonna like me. For whatever reason, they don't like me because I got lashes on. I had a motherfucker tell me how somebody that's so magical wear lashes like that. Well, do you know a lot of us cover our eyes where you don't have access to us? And I've said that again. My lashes are a part of me covering my eyes. I don't really wear glasses. I don't really wear sunglasses. So my lashes, they cover my eyes. People go, well, why are you wearing fake hair? I don't like wearing hats and stuff like that. I'm still protecting my aura because my hair is braided down. See, you motherfuckers don't and you don't take time to learn shit, and that's why you be confused. That is why. I be trying to help you.
But then what happens also is that they don't do what we tell them to do. And then it ends up being our fault because they didn't do what we said to do. But everybody's always looking for someone else to blame. because themselves.
Yeah, no accountability.
Absolutely not. And so, you know what?
It's people 40 years old still mad at their mama. Girl, if you don't let this shit go, you 41 years old, you got 3 kids. Tell me she wasn't there for you. Bitch, she ain't even there for herself. How you? Girl, if you don't heal and let that shit go.
Yep.
So I'm just saying, like, it's a lot that come along with it because a lot of people don't want people to be happy. A lot of people don't want people to connect, and they might not even have a connection to Sen Moise, but the fact that I do, they mad about it. So then they go to him. I heard this about her. Or did you know? And he don't want to hear that shit.
Nope. Beat feet. Bye.
What'd you say?
Beat feet. See ya. Ain't got no time for that bullshit.
Not the key maker. Thank you, darling. We appreciate it. Thank you. I know I got upset last night about speaking in a good way about speaking about my godfather. I want everybody to be happy at the end of the day. And I want you to take everything that I talk about, everything that we do, and I want you to be. They said they purchased your work in Conjure. It's an awesome book.
Oh, well, thank you.
Of course it is. I mean, because think about it like this: you will only get to live one time that you know about this here. So everything that's here, take it and benefit off of it. Be self-full. I ain't say selfish, but you need to be too. But be self-full about what it is that you want and be very descriptive. And if they don't fall in line with what you want, then don't do it. Don't accept anything. I didn't settle for Sen Moise. He was a gift. I didn't settle for him. He was a gift. He was everything that I thought I needed and more. And that's how you should feel about your godparent. And if you don't feel about your godparent like that, then you probably want to rethink that. Working Conjure is amazing. Fits to finish the last chapter. Good.
All right. Yes,
Good.
indeed.
So anyway, the last thing that I was going to talk about is that when you are looking for a godparent, 2 things. You have to be willing to work on self-development. And then it's not just about the godparent. It's also your siblings, your god sisters, your god brothers. Because a lot of people get into covens and stuff like that. And the only thing they want to do is build a connection with the parent, not the siblings, your god sisters and stuff too. And so you got to get out yourself too. And you really got to be able to be open with everybody because it's a house, and a house divided ain't shit. It's not shit.
No.
And I'm sorry.
No, and well, it's very true because the thing about it is that like all these folks, like what they typically, will try to do is that, they just want to have the one connection, and then they have god brothers and god sisters that's around, but there has to be unity there. So there needs to be connection in that, because what happens when that unification is there, that's where the power and the stability and the strength, that's where it seeds itself. And so you've got to, you have to, want to, it's about growing and making a connection with everyone that's in that house, that societe. What did he say? Oh, that's Hector's book. Okay, the 21 Divisions. Yeah, we might just do that.
I just bought that book too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna read it.
Okay. Yeah, Hector is one of my god brothers. But because the thing about it is that when you're talking about like a house, okay, you're talking about the godparent, and you're talking about all the siblings and the kids and stuff like that. Listen, one thing that I would encourage you to to think about, to understand, is that what, find and develop what you are good at, the magic that you are good at, and don't try to be the master of everything.
That part.
Because what, there's things that we're all good at, and each of us has a talent, and each of us has a gift. And then someone else, one of your siblings, may have another gift. And then one of the other siblings may have another gift. And so let those things, develop in each, but don't try to be the master of everything.
Right, because you can't be.
It's never going to happen. You know, like just like an example is a voodoo ceremony, for example. Okay, there are people that play the drum, the untogis that play the drum. There's ugams and mambos, you know, that do the salutes, that you know, salute the loa. There's the unjenikan who sings. One person cannot do everything in that. So that's why what we do is we look and see what talent may be there, what gift is there, and we work on developing that thing, that one thing. And developing that, of course, you know, there may be other things that come, but you're never the master of everything, and you cannot do everything. And so it's understanding that a house is about everyone coming together for whatever that common goal may be, whatever, you know, if it's a ceremony, if it's a ritual, a working, whatever it is. And so this is one of those things to where, you know, one of the things that we look at is, you know, we look and we see what potentials that you have, and then get you to start experiencing that and get you to start, you know, walking a bit in that so you can see it for yourself. Because sometimes we can't see that for ourselves, and it needs to be pointed out.
Right.
You see. So, yeah.
So finding a godparent, first thing you need to do is really soul search and figure out, what are you looking for? What do you think that you need? The second thing to do is don't just jump on the first person that comes to, you know, mind. Ask for clarity, ask for confirmation, because spirit will confirm things for you. A song that I used to read all the time when I was speaking my petition for a good godparent was Psalms 25:5. And it says, guide me in your truth and teach me. And so that is something that I have always added to. That's how I know it's confirmed, because I ordained this myself to happen. I petitioned for this to happen. I manifested this. And another one is Psalms 73:24. And so, and that's just your guide and your counsel. You know, you can go to the spirits for that, because you want this to be spiritually fed, not just emotional. Oh, he cute. Oh, he fine. Oh, he's single. He probably gonna make me his wife. I'm gonna be his spiritual wife. God told me.
Lord.
Yeah. So you don't feel the connection. No, that's gas. That ain't God. That's gas. So I just think mine is orange juice, and it's no vodka. This shit ain't tea.
It's New Orleans tea.
Yeah, there you go. That's it. So anyway, I just wanted to like bring this together, and I would better not to do it than to add my godfather. So any other questions before we close this out? She said definitely gas. Yeah, that one guy. So my God, no, it was gas. Honey. Yeah, absolutely. So my tea that's been through the Long Island.
Oh no, no. See, this tea definitely don't go nowhere near Long Island. No.
No, you know Long Island iced tea.
Yes, I know, but that's got all that other shit in there. I ain't doing that. No.
Do you know? This is so funny. I already know what he likes, what he don't like. So I already know it's one of my outfits I dress into. Because if not, he gonna wear a fucking t-shirt.
Yep.
That's gonna have Bruja or Conjure.
Yeah.
That's all he gonna fucking wear. So I was like. So I was always told, if you want somebody to wear something, quit telling them what they need to just go on and buy it. You be like, this is nice. Go ahead and put that on. Sen Moise does have a Facebook. What you have is it a like page? No, he has a personal page.
I have a personal page and I have a business page. I don't have a group. No.
I have a group. And
she have a group.
It's about 400 people pending to get in. I never want my group to go over a certain number, because I be wanting to get to know you. and kind of develop on a bigger spectrum. And it's pretty much from those people I kind of pull, and those people become apprentices. I'm real particular about that too. And then if you are local and you wanting to join my coven, it's just like when you're becoming an Eastern Star, which I'm non-active, but I'm an Eastern Star too. You have to come around and you have to be invited in. And a lot of people think that they could just come around and they just come on. And it's not like that. You know, you have to be invited in, because this is my personal and my private. And, you know, with my coven daughters, they spoil, because I take their ass places. I spoil them. They don't be having to worry about shit. I just want them to learn and be in a great place, experience great things, and to live in excellence. So, well, thank you for saying it, darling, about the IE family. Thank you, darling. So I love you guys. Many blessings to you guys. You can go on my website. It's www.magicalLadyDuchess.com. You can also look me up on Facebook under MagicalLadyDuchess.com, and also Magickal Lady Duchess. And then on Instagram it's Magickal Lady Duchess. And Papa, what's your website too?
It's HoodooSenMoise.com. And then Instagram is Hoodoo Sen Moise. Facebook is Hoodoo Sen Moise.
Yeah. So that is it. That is all. I will be accepting newbies this week. I'm probably going to let in about 50. Good Lord. I'm going to let in about 50 in the IE group this week. 50 people. Let us pray. So anyway, I love you. Somebody, my mama know they don't want me to add nobody. They don't want me to add nobody in the group. So if you are wanting a reading, you know how to connect with us both. Point though, if you let my papa read you, don't ask me for no reading. I'm just saying.
And the same goes for me. If Magickal Lady Duchess is reading you, don't come to me for no reading, because see, that's another real quick. Let's just hold up. So
I want to talk about that.
We're gonna go just for a second about the spiritual junkies again. And somebody wants this reading, and then they're gonna come and say, well, you know, they're gonna come to me and say, well, Magickal Lady Duchess, she told me blah 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 blah. Listen, every reading is different, and here's the thing: when it comes to divination, the divination that's done today may not be the same tomorrow. Do you know why? Because paths will change.
Because you open that door.
So exactly.
You open that portal, yeah.
So, you know, so sometimes what happens is that like there's folks, and they'll go to, you know, 37 different people, you know, in a week for, you know, the same reading. So my suggestion is, when someone gives you a reading, let that reading manifest, you know, to or whatever needs to be done, or if there's work that needs to be done, you know, after that, do that first before, you know, you start jumping to someone else and someone else and someone else and someone else.
Right.
You know, because like, I don't like giving readings just, you know, because, you know, oh, well, just, you know, just tell me something. Mm-hmm. No, I don't do all that shit.
I don't like that either. Well, just give me a general reading. I don't want to give you a general reading. I want you to have specifics, darling.
Exactly. The general reading is that the door is 10 feet away from you, so walk your ass out of it. That's the general reading.
So that's the part I don't like that. So for me, that's just like any of the other names like Candelo and Charles Porterfield. These are people Mama Star Cat. If you are getting work from them or you getting readings from them, stick with it. Don't come over here and tell me, well, I already paid. I want to hear that, because we all work differently. Even though I'm up under him, he still do stuff that's different from the way that I do stuff. And you got to give, y'all want all this emergency type of energy. Most things are delayed, and they delayed for a reason. Everything has to have divine timing. And divine timing, 9 times out of 10, it ain't gonna never be on your timing. Mm-hmm. Because there's a process that has to happen in between. Okay? So I hope that this was a good video. I hope that you have learned some things. I hope you have We are always available. I am booked through August. The only thing I have is emergency consultations, and you have to contact the store for that. And I think I'm almost booked through September too, going into October. I don't know. But go on the sites, see what's available. You also always welcome to call my store or him. I'm not sure. You can call your store too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, you can call my store too.
So my store number, I'm gonna give it to y'all because y'all be acting like y'all be knowing. 469-466-9801. I am closed on Sundays and Mondays. 469-466-9801. If you are wanting to find out more about my schedule, because what you see is what you get. If I'm booked, I'm booked. But you can get these emergency consultations, and I fit you in. It's just like that. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Same thing for Papa. Okay? So now we have talked about getting a godfather or a godparent and what you need to be looking at. If you are new and starting out, just take your time. This is not a race.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a competition on who's the strongest and who's the most powerful. And I am the greatest. Child, sit down, greatest.
Mm-hmm.
You can only be the greatest of yourself, my darling.
Yep. Your great ass can have a seat. Mm-hmm.
So y'all have a good one. Many blessings to you guys. If you have any questions, concerns, share, like, repost this video. And I don't give a fuck if they don't like it or not. Repost this video because there are people that need to know this. Okay? So that's it. That's all. I love y'all. Ashe. Be humble, be sweet, and be smart. Goodbye.
Bye, y'all.
Yay, Papa.
Yay.